Oh boy, it sure is a hot, humid one today. Hello there, people of the internet. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. Shout out to GOA and FPC, we need them right now, more than we ever have. So I'm just out here doing some firearms testing, and I figured I'd go ahead, record it, make a video. Hear Kevin screaming in the background. Those who don't know who Kevin is, he's my peacock. I got 4 of them. Welcome to the channel. This is my M1 Carbine. This is an IAI production. Yeah, IAI. This is a reproduction, not a wartime production. I think this one was like the company making these carbines was from like 97 to 2007 or something like that. They're good M1 carbines from what I've been told. I've talked to people that actually worked in the factories making these M1 carbines, and they talked about all the different testings and whatnot that went into making these. But that being said, this right here is, you know, potentially a 20+ year rifle. And I've always had problem feeding it. It seems like this particular M1 carbine, I've ran several M1 carbines, but this one in particular seems to have trouble reliably cycling no matter what magazine that I put in it. And I've ran a total of 4 different magazines inside of this thing. One of them was a standard 15 round capacity magazine, but it was a new production, like cheapest I could find 15 round magazine, and it didn't work very well. One was a 5 round magazine. I think it was like Magpul, it was polymer, and I'm not surprised that one didn't run. I think I had a couple of 30 round mags that also did not run. And every time these magazines do not run, it always has the same issue. I'm running full metal jackets in this carbine right here, trying to get it to cycle properly. But the lip of the, what would I call it? The lip of the cartridge where the bullet actually seats into the brass casing, that lip of that brass casing always manages to catch on the feed lips, because it seems like the M1 Carbine's magazines are just not held high enough to be able to handle feeding properly. So my buddy actually, like, apparently this is a pretty common problem with these carbines right here. Not the company that makes these, but just M1 carbines in general. My buddy had gifted me some actual USGI surplus M1 carbine magazines. These right here are genuine military surplus, and supposedly they're a lot better than anything sold in the commercial market. So I am out here today sitting at about 100 yards out on my gun range, and I got 5 rounds in each magazine, and I'm just gonna see how well these magazines work. The other magazines that I have, they would not function all the way through those 5 rounds. A lot of them would have stopped on that first round that I just chambered, so that's definitely a really good sign. So we're out here at 100 yards. I got my M1 Carbine magazine, and I got me a little rag right here because my M1 Carbine is in fantastic shaping. I don't want to scratch it up. This is definitely a safe queen right here. This is my M1 Grand. Let me turn my camera here. But both of them are in incredible condition, and I definitely don't want to mess them up. It's about time for me to come out here and trim this bush. I wonder how many people have said that. Well, probably a lot more now than they were in the 70s. Okay, let's see if I could do this without getting smacked in the face with brass. I'm just gonna send around down at the steel. I can't remember where this thing hits. I think it hits either high or low, but I can't quite remember. Let's find out. All right. I'm not positive. Actually, that looks like center, but I can't tell from this distance. Did our carbine cycle? I know we ejected a round, and we have a round in the chamber. All right, this magazine has cycled at least once. Ah, failure to cycle. How do you like that? In this particular case, this is a failure to extract. My goodness. Ooh, that case is stuck in there. That's not a magazine issue, that's an ammunition issue right there. What do we have going on here? Well, it might be an ammunition issue, but this ammunition is actually pretty old. I think this is like 80s production ammunition actually, so yeah, we might have some malfunctions with the ammunition. That was not a magazine problem, that was just a failure to extract. And we have another malfunction. Looks like a failure to feed, but that one did jump over the feed lips. Well, this thing seems accurate. All right, so now we're having failures to feed, but the rounds are going over the feed lips. They're just not cycling into the chamber properly. What I'm going to do after I run these magazines, if I still have this same problem, I'm gonna replace the recoil spring in this thing, because the recoil spring does not feel like it has the oomph behind it that M1 carbines are supposed to have. This one right here definitely feels like a lighter weight recoil spring. And I just don't think that it's pushing the rounds as hard as it should. Well, that one got out of there. All right, so this magazine, we didn't have the problem with the magazines that I've had with other magazines. So let me grab this magazine. This is another USGI surplus. This one says BW on it. It's a blued magazine, kind of rusty. Normally when magazines are like old and rusty like this, they're typically pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and run another round through this, or run another magazine through this, and just send more rounds downrange at our steel target. Did we cycle? No, we did not. It seems like the magazine is just not high enough to be able to have the bolt reliably grab onto it. Another failure to cycle. This is the problem that we're having here, guys. The bolt is just, the magazine seems to not want to sit high enough to be able to reliably cycle ammunition. I mean, the magazine has just a tremendous amount of play in this rifle. I might go through and replace the magazine system in this rifle altogether, the magazine catch. Because this rifle is quite old. I mean, who knows what it's been through? I mean, obviously not a war or anything like that, it's a reproduction, but who knows what it's been through? Who knows if it's been dropped or something, or if something on the inside is bent. So I'm gonna replace the magazine system, the magazine catch, and the recoil spring, and we're gonna see if we can get this rifle running properly. Because she's accurate, I'm pinging the steel every single time. Issue is, this is basically a single shot. All right, did we actually cycle that time? My goodness gracious, we actually cycled. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try this magazine. I have high hopes for this magazine. This magazine is one of those old school blue, like in the white steel magazines for the M1 Carbine. And this one seems to fit like significantly better than all the other ones. This one has way less play in it than those other ones do. Let's see how well this one works. I'm hoping she works better than the others. Well, we cycled, I think. Did we cycle? My goodness, we cycled. Well, hold on. That doesn't look like a magazine issue. That is a failure to extract. Like I said, the ammunition I'm running here is a little on the older side, so that was an ammunition issue, not a magazine issue. Well, we hit our steel. Looks like we cycled. Another failure to extract. The extractor on this thing might be getting weak as well, so I might replace that too. Alright, well, this magazine right here does not seem to be giving us any problems. We've got problems with the ammunition and then the extractor and whatnot with this rifle. But so far, zero feeding problems with this magazine. I think I've only got one round left in this magazine, but still, it gives me hope. And we nailed the steel target with our last shot. All right, let's wander down there and see what the steel target looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro right now though. So, very impressed with this magazine right here. I was expecting none of these to work because I'm fairly certain that the actual mag catch for this rifle has problems. And this magazine just seems to sit more firmly than all the other magazines. But the magazine catch, I'm fairly certain does have problems because I have to finagle these magazines into the mag catch. And they just don't sit the way that they should. But this one does have a lot less play in it than those other magazines too. I'm going to look around, gather up whatever M1 Carbine brass I can find, because I do like reloading this stuff. I know that this is older ammunition, but it should still be boxer primed. So we're still gonna wander out to the target, but I'm gonna say, hey, thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, like the video, description down below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check that out. All right, let me pick up my brass. The old Fudd over here looking to pick up his brass, the 25-year-old Fudd. What can I say? I like reloading, and this stuff is running like $1 a round right now, or I can pick up powder, primer, and ammo and reload it for about 30 cents a round. So that is the way to go. All right, as promised, here's our target. We were smacking it pretty damn good. So yeah, I was just kind of aiming in this particular direction, and we got a bunch of shots in the center, a bunch of shots up in the corner. Yeah, There we go. That's about my accuracy at 100 yards. There you go. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.